5. Breaking news from News Channel 3.
Good afternoon. I'm Beth Farnsworth.
And I'm CJ Ward. We're breaking into normal programming with some breaking news for you.
A fire crews are responding to a brush fire that started outside Solvang. It is now burning over the mountains and towards Refugio.
And this is a live picture from Refugio State Beach right now. You can see you can just see how windy it is by looking at some of those the firefighters' clothes just whipping in the wind there, but you really can't see much of the smoke yet, but there is a lot of it out there.
There's a lot of it out there. There's a large plume up there, and this broke out this afternoon. This fire is being called the Alisol Fire. It was reported a little bit after 2 o'clock at Fairway Place. That's not far from Alisol Reservoir.
And we also have some new video just into our newsroom from one of the PG&E cameras in that area, and there you can see the smoke. This appears to be a time-lapse video. Firefighters tell us the fire has already burned 50 acres, as Beth said, and it is growing. It's at the top of Refugio Road. Winds are a big problem right now. They're gusting 30 to 35 miles an hour.
And we know that mandatory evacuations were just ordered just minutes ago for the Arroyo Hondo, Refugio Canyon areas, also for areas all the way down to the beach. Want to give you another angle of the fire, again from another PG&E camera in the area. The Los Padres National Forest is in charge of this response.
And this would probably be from the valley side. You can see the smoke there just blowing from inland toward the beach area. Let's bring in Julia Espinoza now. She's in the First Alert Weather Center monitoring the dangerous winds out there. And this is one of the combinations we talk about. You know, we have the dry conditions, and then you bring in the winds and a fire source, something that starts the fire.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Hey there, CJ and Beth. And today we are seeing that perfect recipe. We're dealing with very dry feels out there, very strong winds up and down the coast. And we're also going to be experiencing bigger changes heading our way with those winds actually getting stronger in some local areas. So right now you are taking a look at our high resolution wind speed model. We are seeing a lot of red out there, indicating very strong winds, and everyone looking at those double-digit conditions northerly all across our area. Now, as we focus on in right here for the San Ynez Range, heading out towards Highway 101 or even into the 246 area, you can see those winds are coming on in at about 37 miles per hour at this time, and they have the potential to come on in up to 60 miles per hour. So we are talking advisories in this local area expected to remain as we go into tonight. And you can see again, focusing right here for Highway 246, those winds are gusting at about 36, 37 miles per hour. It continues right alongside Los Olivos and into Solvang, really not lessening for any one area. And as far as relative humidity, well, you are seeing the big difference. Right here when we are focusing for the San Ynez Range and even into Santa Barbara County over those mountain areas, you can see those dry fuels have dropped down to under 40%. And anything that drops under 40% does indicate that those fires could be spreading much more quickly if anything does ignite. And unfortunately, that's exactly what we are experiencing at this very moment. San Ynez right now, you're looking at, or Solvang, excuse me, you're looking at about 38%, and into San Ynez, we're looking at 33%. So with strong winds in our area, we are likely to still be dealing with those very dry feels all around our region. And as mentioned, we're going to be seeing several advisories continuing up and down the coast. So for those Santa Barbara County mountains, we are seeing this high wind warning remain in effect up until tomorrow, right around 3 in the morning before we see those winds diminish. And then here for the Central Coast, we're going to be under that wind advisory up until 11 p.m. And what it means is that we could still see wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour, maybe a few isolated up to 60 miles per hour. So we're keeping a very close eye on all of this weather-related news as we're still going to be dealing with those strong winds for the next hours to come. You can see it very strong over those mountain areas. But again, we'll be having more details coming up in our newscast. For now, sending it back to you.
All right, thank you so much. And as Julia just said, 30 to 35 mile an hour winds pushing this Alisol fire. And again, we've got areas under evacuation orders right now. That's Arroyo Quemada, Arroyo Hondo areas all the way down to the beach, and Refugio Canyons as well.
Yeah, and Refugio Canyon is an interesting area because that's where we have the Reagan Ranch. That's up there, which was the Western White House during President Reagan's years as the president. We also have the Circle Barbie Ranch, is a very popular. That's up in the canyon as well. And really, because of the topography there, this is really a bad place to have a fire at the very top with strong winds like this.
That's right. And a lot of these areas have not burned in decades. So as we've talked about the drought conditions, tinder dry conditions out there with these howling winds, big challenge right now for the firefighters. We have not even been able to confirm if they've been able to put up air support to tackle this fire yet.
And the winds may complicate that as well.
That's
if the
right.
winds are too strong, they may not be able to bring up helicopters. But again, we haven't heard anything about air support. But you can see there, it looks like they're probably getting ready to set up a command post. This is probably near Refugio State Beach.
That's exactly right, CJ. And we do have a crew there as well, and just trying to get bearings to see the best vantage point to get to the fire safely, to bring you more images and visuals. Again, we're relying right now on those PG&E wildfire cameras that are giving us the beginning plumes and the smoke right now, that fire as it is pushing down toward the ocean area. So again, those mandatory evacuations in effect right now. Again, it's about 50 to 100 acres in size. This is the Alisal fire. It broke out about 2 o'clock this afternoon.
And we have had a couple significant fires out in that area. Back in 2004, we had the Gaviota fire. That one burned, I think, pretty much down to the beach. The Sherpa fire, that was back in 2000, that was June of 2016, and that burned 7,500 acres. And then the Sherpa fire happened right before a storm, and we ended up having mudslides right after that as well. Yeah. So yeah, it's very steep topography, which can wreak havoc with the winds, and fire crews have a difficult time trying to reach some of the steeper terrain, especially as you get higher into higher elevations up there. We're looking again, this is a time lapse from probably the valley side, and it's the smoke, the winds are hitting it right at the ridge top and then blowing that smoke sideways toward the ocean.
That's right. We do have populated areas, of course, on that mountainside, on the ocean side as well, and a lot of ranchettes tucked into those canyons. So again, those people packing up right now and getting out of harm's way. And you can see the command posts they're setting up there. And those winds are expected to howl into the overnight hours until at least 3 a.m. when that wind warning dies down.
And the other thing that complicates this when you're talking about canyons, kind of what you find out there in that topography, it's windy where there. You can see how windy it is, but then you get down into the canyons where the wind is coming down off the ridgetop, and it's almost like you're staring at a straw and somebody's blowing the air right at you. And that's what these guys are going to be dealing with, those strong winds coming off the ridgetop.
So we will continue to break in as needed throughout the day, and you can also get updates anytime on our mobile app and our website at KEYT.com.
Stay with us, much more ahead.